All right, Dr. Al-Hawari, the floor is all yours.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Dr. Ahmed El-Hawari. I am originally from Egypt. So I'll talk first about myself. I graduated in 2017, and after my graduation from Al-Azhar Medical School, I started my USMLE journey. So I started my USMLE journey in 17, and I did my step 1 in 19, my step 2 in 21, and after that I applied for the matches this season, and finally I matched in Icahn School of Medicine in New York, in Queens Hospital. So I'm coming today to talk with you about the how is or how you prepare for the USMLE, and what about the exams, what about the match, and how can you prepare yourself for the match. So I'm dividing the session for the USMLE into two sessions. The first session I'll talk about the first point about the how to search for about USMLE information, and also I'm talking about why you choose USMLE. Like if you are from foreign country, like from Egypt or from India or from Pakistan or whatever the country, why you choose USMLE, why you don't choose BLEB, why you don't go to Germany, why you don't go to Australia. A lot of things to do. So uh, I am talking about like why you choose USMLE, and after that I'll talk about the cost of the USMLE and some disadvantage about USMLE. So I'm telling honestly the advantage, and also you have to know the disadvantage. So before you start, you have to know everything about the pathway. Also, I'll talk about the importance of the year of graduation, and if you are old graduate, like you graduated after 5 years from medical school, so what should you do to increase your chances to get the match. Also this day I'll talk about the which step should come first, step 1 or step 2 CK. Also I'll talk about the step 1 USMLE preparation, step 2 CK preparation, and the OOT exam preparation. Also I have to talk about the English, like how to improve your English, because most of our or most of us come from different countries, come from Egypt, come from India, Pakistan, or whatever the country, or from Europe. So English not our first language. So how to you improve your English, because you are working here in English community, people all here speaking English, so you have to be very good in English. The other thing I'll talk about the administration process, about the how to register for the exam, how to get the SFMG certificate. Also, after getting the SFMG certificate, you have to apply for step 3 exam. So if you have time, you can get step 3 before applying for the match. The last thing I'll talk about also the visa interview and the other types of visas, and the research position, how to get a research position in the US, and about some advices about the research in the US, how to get good letter of recommendation, and lastly, the electives and observerships. So all of these points I'll cover today, and the next session I'll talk about the ERAS application and the personal statement and the program reach out and the interviews and the rank order list. So a lot of topics I'll cover in the whole two sessions. So let me start now, and I want to clarify two things. First thing, I'm talking in the date of May 3rd. So if anything updated happens after that, you have to know that this session done at May 3rd, 2023. The other thing I want to clarify is I did the exams long time ago, like step 1 I did in 2019, step 2 I did in 2021. So if anything happens after that, you have to update yourself through the new experiences that written on Facebook or whatever the platform. So the first point here is how to search about the USMLE, because before starting this pathway, you have to know that not all people have time to explain to you things. So you have to know how to search, how to know information about USMLE. So first thing, you have YouTube. You can find a lot of videos about USMLE on YouTube. Also Facebook. A lot of people write their experiences on Facebook, Twitter, and WhatsApp, and the Skype group, and Reddit. All of these platforms, you can find some information about USMLE. So you have to educate yourself about this before starting this pathway, because it is very hard, very tough way. So before starting, you have to know everything. So when you take the decision, you will take the right decision at the right time. Second thing, why USMLE? Like anyone graduated from foreign country, he can go for Europe, can go for England, for other countries. So why, for me, I choose to go to US? First thing, USMLE provide you by the best knowledge. As you know, it is maybe the hardest exam you can find. Also, the information you get from USMLE will help you to work at any country, you know. The second thing, in US, you can get the best salary. After the residency, I think here the attending can get about 2,000 or to 200,000 or 250,000 in the attending. And if even if you get a fellowship, you can get like half a million dollars. So it is like the best salary you can get. The second thing also, it is the best training. So after finishing your exams and getting the residency, the best training in the world, I think it is in US. So that is why I choose US better than like England or other countries. Also, US, it is a 49 state, so it is a large country. You can find a lot of work opportunities. Also, US, it is an immigration country. Like a lot of people coming from different countries. So you can find your community here in the US, unlike other countries which are not allowing for immigration. Also, if you did USMLE, you can get other opportunities in other countries, like in Qatar. In Hamad, in Qatar, they accept the USMLE. Also in UAE, also in AUB in Lebanon, and other countries can accept USMLE. So for all of these reasons, I choose to go to the US. And also, you know, being US is in an immigration country, you can find like less racist, like another countries. Like you can find your community, Arab community, you can find Pakistani community, Indian community, European community. So all people here like each other. Uh, so I took also like for all of this reason, I choose USMLE. But also you have to know like the disadvantage of USMLE. First thing, USMLE is very costly. Like you will pay a lot of things. You'll pay a lot of money to finish the exams, to do the rotations, to do the research, to get the match. So it will cost you a lot. For example, to do the SME account, I think you have to pay 150 now or something like that. I paid 125 while I was in 19. Step one exam about like 1,000. Step two exam about another 1,000. Also, the SFME certificate about 925. So you have to pay about 925 to get the certificate. The world, if you do your world for 1 year, you will pay about 550. You world step two also the same 550. NBME everyone by $60. The OET exam you will pay 450. That if you pass from the first time. If you pass from the second time, you will pay also again. Besides that, also the match season, about like, you know, if you will apply for 200 program, it will cost you about $5,000. The token about like 160, the NRMV about $70. So, you know, all of these costs makes the way very tough and very hard, and not all people like to go for the USMLE. So that I can consider it is a disadvantage. It will cost you a lot. Also, you know, if you stay here for 1 year for unpaid research position, you can like cost yourself about 10,000 or 15,000, depending on the state, if it is a cheap state or expensive state. Like here in Minnesota, I can say about 12,000 per year. In other states like New York, maybe more than 15. Also, if you will do electives or observership, it will cost you a lot, and also it depends on the state. So the advantage on this is you don't have to pay everything in one time. Like you will do for the exams first. After that, you will go for rotations. After that, you will do the research. So you don't have to pay all the money at one time. No, you will pay it, but on steps. Also, if you don't have the money for the USMLE, you can travel for to the Gulf countries or to Maldives or to any other country, or also you can work in your home country until you get the money for the USMLE. After that, you can travel. So everything has a clue. Um, Also, one of the disadvantage of for the USMLE is you can apply or you may apply more than one season and you didn't match or you didn't get match, and that is very like one of the biggest disadvantage for the USMLE. Also, the way is very competitive and it needs high score, and the exam is not that easy. So to be honest with you, you have to know the risk, you have to know the benefits, and after that you have to decide if you can do the USMLE or not. One more thing also, to get match, you have to help yourself first. Like no one will help you unless you will get like a good score, and you have to do research, you have to do US clinical experience. So try to do everything, and at the end, during the match season, a lot of people will help you to get interviews and to match in the best program. So one question a lot of people asked me before, which is, what is the best time to do the USMLE? In my opinion, you have the best time for USMLE is during your medical school, because the year of graduation matters a lot. So if you are like if you are just in medical school now, start from now studying for the USMLE. So after finishing your medical school directly, you can apply for the match. While if you are like graduated long time ago from the medical school, in my opinion, you have to go now to the US and do research, and beside the research you have to study for the exams. So the research is required, but required for people that have a weakness in their CV, and one of the weakness is the year of graduation. Also, start it as early as possible, because most of the program filter the applicants at 5 year of graduation. So start it as early as possible. So you will get like you will have high chances to match if your year of graduation less than 5 years. Also, if you are young, you can digest the USMLE materials very easy, because as you know, when you become older, the memory become more weaker with age. And a lot of stuff of the USMLE need memory. Um, so my opinion, if you are like fresh grad, you can study for the USMLE in your home country. After that, travel for the US to apply for the match. While if you are old graduate, I mean like if you are more than 5 years of graduation, travel from the moment that you decide to go for the US. The early you be in the US, the more chances to get matched, because at this time you need a lot of connections. You need to do a lot of connections through the research and the electives and the observerships. So let me talk about USMLE versus the home country residency. So if you can do both together, like if you can do the USMLE and the home country residency together, it will be perfect. And some of my friends did that because it will help you in the match. Like if you have home country residency, for sure, they will catch you better than someone don't have residency and don't have work experience in his home country. But if your scores will be affected by your work in your home country, or the year of graduation will be delayed more than 5 years, my advice, no, you have to stop the work in your home country, and just you can do part-time job until you do the USMLE. Like if you can do the residency, it's okay. Go for the residency and for the USMLE exams. But if the residency will affect your score, my idea, no, stop the residency, go for a part-time job, and beside it do the exams. The main thing, don't make anything affect your USMLE scores, because step one now become pass fail, step two it is a score. So if the scores affected of step two CK, your chances to get match will be lower and low. Okay. So, which step should come first, step one or step two CK? A lot of people also asked me this question. So I can say here, step one should come first due to more than one reason. First thing, step one become pass fail. So you have to build your knowledge in step one, then go and get higher score in CK. And there is a rule here, the step that will come second, the score will be higher than the steps that come first, because the fear for the exam will disappear because you did already step one. You know the exam station. You know the people there in the exam. You know how the exam will go. So the fear will disappear. So generally, you can find people that do CK after step one. When step one was scores, you can find them have higher score in CK than in step one. That is why you can find the scores of CK higher, and also the average score of CK higher than step one when step one was scores. But now step one become pass fail, so just pass step one, and after that do CK and they get a high score in CK. So my idea in general, do step two CK after step one. Also, if you are a recent graduate, my idea, go directly for part-time job beside the studying. While if you are old graduate, go to US from now and do research beside the USMLE exams, because you must build strong connections. So how to build the connections? Because people say like, should I go for strange people and ask them provide me interview or something? It doesn't work like that. But you have to first to add people on Facebook, you add people on LinkedIn, you can use WhatsApp group, you can do research in US. All of these methods can help you to build the connections. So try to use social media for connections, but no one will recommend you if he don't know you. So try to make friendship with people first, like for about 1 year or something. After that, you can ask question like that. And the best method to do connection is to help other people, because when you help others, you can find a lot of people will help you during the match season. While if you are selfish and you don't like to help people, for sure, during the match time, no one will know you, no one will like to help you. So in general, from now you have to do account on Facebook, you have to do account on LinkedIn and on WhatsApp. You have to appear to people. When you appear to people, people will know you better closely, and they can recommend you to their programs during the match season. So now I have to talk about the step one USMLE preparation. First thing, try to read the previous experiences as much as you can, because when you read more, you will get more information. You will know a lot about the exams, a lot about the questions, how to ask, a lot about the materials, exam materials. So try to read a lot of previous experiences as much as you can. And one important thing here is, don't put yourself in comparison with others. Some finish the exams in 6 months and others can finish in 2 years. So people are very different. For me, I did step one in about 2 years. Other friends to me did the exam in 6 months. So different from one to other, because the level of intelligence differ. Also the time, like for me, I was working and I was doing the exam, so it took for me more time than someone he don't have a work, so he was only studying. So don't put yourself in comparison with others. Also, don't make the internet to rush you, because no one posts his failure. If you find someone failed this one, he want to post it. While for me, when I pass the exam, okay, I post. But if I fail, I don't post. So uh, you can find that all people pass, but that is not true. Some people fail, and but they don't tell you. So don't make the internet to rush you. Also, don't lose hope if you failed in BME, because all of us failed previously in BMEs, and that is totally normal. Now I want to tell you some mistakes I did during step one preparation, so you can avoid it. First one, I followed some fake experiences, so I started to lose hope, and also I was finding people finish the exams in about 6 months, and I was stuck in about 1 year, so or 1.5 years. So I was putting myself in comparison with others, and that is totally wrong. The best thing is to know your abilities, to know your knowledge, to know your time, and to know the level of intelligence and your level of memory. And after that, Both schedule to yourself and work according your abilities. The second mistake I did is I did your world offline in the first year, and that is not recommended, especially if you have the money. Yeah, if you don't have the money, it's okay. You can study offline. But I mean, like, if you have the money, my idea or my opinion, start your world online from the first day, because it will help you a lot to manage your time during the real exam. Also, mistake I did is I delayed my self-assessment. I did my first self-assessment after 1.5 years of my preparation. So I discovered my mistakes very, very late. While when you do the self-assessment very early, you can discover the mistakes early and you can treat it early. So start the self-assessment as soon as you can. Also, I did gaps during my preparation because my work is it was like 2 weeks work and 2 weeks studying, 2 weeks work, 2 weeks studying. So these gaps makes me forget a lot of materials. So my advice to you: don't do a gaps. Start directly, like work directly and continuously. Don't make a gaps, because when you do gaps, you will forget and you have to return again to study. So gaps not recommended at all during studying for the USMLE. Also, I was writing a lot of notes, and that is not recommended. Only write the most important things so you can return to it before the exam. Because if you write a lot, you won't return at the end of the exam. Like, you have about 2 3 days before the exam and you need to revise everything, but unfortunately you won't find time to do everything. Also, I delayed doing the world timed mode. And it is very important to learn the exam taking strategies. So when you do the world in not timed mode, like and don't give you 60 minutes to finish the block, your time management will be very bad during the exam. So start from the first day of the preparation for the USMLE to do the world in a timed mode, so you can answer the questions very fast. And that is very important because in the exams you don't give you a lot of time to manage this thing. Also, the questions in the exam very long, so try to focus on the most important things from the questions, like the vitals and what is the last sentence in the question, what he need, what he want. So all of these things is very important to learn. So you can't learn these things if you do the word offline. So doing your word online, very important, and doing your world timed mode, very important. Also, in the first year of preparation, I didn't use study partners, which was for me it was a big mistake, because using study partners for me helped me a lot to motivate me to finish. While studying alone, I don't think it is a good idea. But some people, like, maybe disagree with me, and some people can say, like, I like to study with alone, I don't like to study with a partner. Okay, so if it works for you, okay, go for it. But for me, I think I have to study with partners, and this helped me a lot, especially when you are already graduated from medical school, so you are now old. You can't motivate yourself, but you have to find someone to study with you. I think if I am in medical school, maybe I don't need a study partners, but after graduation, it is very important to find a study partner to study with you. Also, try to use a study partner, but with the limits, like around 3 hours per day, not the whole day you study with people, because studying a lot, or you have to make some time for yourself to memorize the information. Also, you have to find someone dedicated. Like, don't study with someone has a lot of distractions. Don't study with someone has a full-time job, because this study partner won't give you some time for studying, or also want to be so much dedicated as you. Also, sometimes, if you are a woman and want to study with a woman or something, like, choose one. Don't have a kids or something like that. I know it can work, but I mean, like, choose someone don't have a lot of distractions. Like, if you have a kids, okay, so good, but study with someone also have the same thing, so you can manage the time together. Also, one of my mistakes is I was concentrating on the low yield stuff. Like I did Kaplan, I did Dr. Najib, I did a lot of, like, a lot of things not important for the exam. But when I started in 2017, I didn't know a lot of information about USMLE. That is why I did these mistakes. But now you know that Kaplan and Dr. Najib and all of this kind of stuff, it is very low yield. I think Board and Beyond now, it is very good videos and can save your time, and it is direct to the point. So I highly recommend doing Board and Beyond Design Kaplan or Dr. Najib. But if your basics are very, very, very bad, okay, you can go for Dr. Najib and you can listen to him. But if you are like average like me, okay, you can use Board and Beyond. Also, one of the biggest mistakes is some people register for the exam before passing the NBME, and that is not a good thing because you can risk the exam. Like you can go for the exam and fail it. So don't do that. Start or register for the exam when you are sure that you are passing the NBME. That is for step one. And also not just passing with a safe margin, at least like you can get to 20 or something. So when you pass with a safe margin, you know that you will go for the exam and you will pass it. Also, I didn't do this mistake, but I mean, like, I'm giving this advice because some people do this. The world is a learning tool, so don't try to be cocky if you got high score in second time because you already remember the answers. Use your world as a learning tool, not as assessment tool. Assessment only if it is in the first time, but after that it is a learning tool. So now I'll talk about the resources for the step one USMLE preparation. First thing, it is the first aid. So only add the most important points. Like in the first aid, don't write a lot in the book. Don't make the book messy with you. No, try to write the most important points. Second thing is the you world. So you will do it online from the first day of your preparation if you have money. But if you don't have the money, do it 3 months at least online, like before the exam by 3 months, do your world online. But my idea from the first day, do it online. Basoma, also a lot of questions come from this book in the real exam, especially the first three chapters in Basoma, very, very, very important. So try to digest this book very good. And Dr. Hussein Sattar also was excellent. Board and event videos, Dr. Johnson Rian, also I recommend it all, and it is very informative. So now I said first aid, you wallet, board and beyond, and Basoma. Finish those four resources in about 6 months. After that, you can go for NBME self-assessment and see yourself. If you pass after those four resources, okay, you can register for the exam. But if you fail, you should add additional resources. It depends on you. Like you can find your weakness in the NBME, and according to the NBME result, you can register for, or you can do another things like Kaplan books and videos in your weak areas. For me, I did Dr. Kodra's Physiology 2010 videos in physiology. It was in CVS and the respiratory. Also, I did the neuroanatomy from Kaplan. I did also biostatistics from Kaplan and the behavioral science. I think it was Dr. Dotary. He was perfect. And Dr. Torko in biochemistry, I did it also. So it depends on your weakness. These are, or these areas was my weakness, so I did it from Kaplan. Also for you, if you have some weakness, you can return for these resources. Uh, Also, there's one book called 100 Case Cornered Fissure for Essex. I use this book. It is very good. Sketchy micro videos, you can do it, especially if you have good visual memory. For me, it doesn't work with me because I didn't have this good visual memory. For me, I can memorize the words in the books. So it depends. Like if you have good visual memory, you like to look at pictures, you can go for sketchy micro. The BRS physiology book, I did it in my weak points and things that not clear in first aid. My weak point was the respiratory and the cardiovascular also in physiology. So I did BRS in these points. The RxQ bank, it's very, very, very good if you wanted to memorize the first aid. I did some questions from RX. Also, the Zanki flashcards, you can do Zanki for memorization because you know a lot of step one stuff depend on your memory. So I recommend using it if you have weak memory in some topics. Ambos QBank, I personally didn't use it for step one, but you can use Ambos also. Some people recommend it. Also, Osmosis and Dirty Medicine. It is a YouTube channel. So I did some topics from osmosis and I did some topics from dirty medicine. The topics that I couldn't understand, so I was going for it. Randy Neal videos for biostatistics, it is very good also. I did some of it. Also, the after each step of the preparation, you have to do the NBMEs and the UWorld self-assessment. As I told you, do the first aid and UWorld and the board and the beyond and the basoma. After that, you can start doing one NBME. If you pass it, okay, register for the exam. If you don't pass it, you can take a step back and start studying again, and you can discover, or you have to discover, which part you are weak in and try to strengthen your weakness. During my time, I did the exam in 2019, so the NBMEs was until 24, I think. Now it reaches about like 29 or 30. So try to ask the people that doing NBMEs now how predictive it is, because you can't ask me and I did the exam from 3 years or 4 years and tell me like, is NBME 24 predictive or not? Because the predictivity change with time. So this type of questions you have to ask someone that did the exam recently, and he can tell you exactly if this NBME predictive or not. Also try to do NBMEs online, like at least 2 or 3 NBMEs online. You can do the others offline, but I mean like do 2 or 3 NBMEs online, very important. And the free 120, I did it in the Prometric Center and I paid 150. It was a good experience for me because I didn't try or I didn't do previously in my medical school computer exams. So I wanted to go for or to the Prometric Center and take this experience. And it was my first computer exam, as I told you. So I have to take my experience before going for the real exam. So if you didn't do any computer exam before in your life, my advice to you, you should do the free 120 in the Prometric Center. But if you already adapted on this previously in your medical school, so it's okay. You don't have to do it in the Prometric Center, and you can do it at home. So now I'll talk about when should I register for the exam. So after passing the NBME or the World Self-Assessment by safe margin, and you have to try more than one because you may pass in the first time by luck. So do 2 or 3 NBMEs. If you passed all of them, okay, so you are in a good shape. You can go for the exam and you can register for the exam. But if you are failing, my advice, don't register for the exam until you pass it. And do your best in step one, because every information will help you in CK, and this will increase your CK score. I was using a study partner to solve your world questions. Sometimes during COVID with low motivation, I used to also the virtual Skype group library. Also, this can help. So try to search like which people study virtually. You can study with them as in a library. Also, I use the WhatsApp group to post some questions and to share with friends. And this helped me a lot to build the connections with the future residents, because a lot of my friends, or when I came here to US, already they are now in BGY1, BGY2. So they helped me also for the interviews. I mean, like if you are present on social media, if you are present on WhatsApp, present on Facebook, this will help you a lot during the match season, because maybe some of your friends will apply for the match before you, and they know you from the groups, so they can help you. So not only these groups will help to motivate you for studying, also it may help you also for during the match season to have friends from these groups. Also, some of the most important questions I get before is, can I match with previous exam attempt? Yes, I can say yes, but you need a strong CV, and also you need research, and also you need connections. I took a step one in November 2019, and my score was 240. That I think like long time ago. Now step one become pass fail. So that is in short my talk about step one. Step two, CK preparation. The whole time of preparation is 6 months to 1 year in average. I talk about 1 year and 3 months, but it depends, because for me, I was having a job, I was having work, I have to go to work and these things. But some people only studying, so they may take 6 months. And as I said also in step one, people differ. Like someone has good memory, someone has better good background, like very very clever in his medical school, so he can finish the exams in 3 or 6 months. Others can finish it in 1 year. So it depends also, and it depends on the target score. Like for me, my target was to 40 to 50. Other people, their target to 70. So the persons that have target to 70 will take much more time than the persons that will finish into 40 or want to 40. Also, it depends on your basic knowledge from step one. Like when step one was score, like if someone get to 50 and the other one like only pass, the ones that get to 50 can get higher score than the ones that only pass the step one, because the basic knowledge of the ones that have higher score in step one will help him a lot in studying for CK. So as I said, try to do your best in step one, because every information you take from step one will help you a lot in step 2 CK preparation. Also, it depends, like if you are studying only, or if you have work and beside studying. So the ones that have a work, I think he can study about 4 hours per day or 3 hours per day, while the ones that don't have a work, he can study the whole day. So don't put yourself in comparison with others. Just try to know your abilities and work on it. Also, I can say don't rush yourself, because now the program directors will look at your final score results. They don't know how much beer you do took during the preparation. They don't ask even you for this. Like they don't ask in the interview how much time you got to prepare for step 2 CK. No one will ask this, but they will judge you on the score. So try to get the highest score as much as you can. Also, register for the exam when you achieve your target score in the NBME and the World Self-Assessment. Like, don't go and register for the exam and you are failing the World Self-Assessment. I don't recommend. I don't recommend that at all. Try to start your world from the first day timed mode, because time management is a big problem during step 2 CK preparation, because the questions are so long. So start training yourself from the first day of preparation on doing the your world timed mode. And also do your world. After that, you can do ambush, then return again to your world. And I say like it is like sandwich pattern, like your world ambush, your world again. And by this way, when you do your world in the second time, you already forgot the concept of your world. While if you did your world and after that do directly your world again, you already remember the questions, you already remember the concept, so you can did like 100% in the second time you world, and that is not good thing. Try to make space between the two rounds of your world. Do your world, after that try another bank like ambush, then return again to your world. And after each round, like if you did your world, try to revise your mistakes after each round. The most important source for Step 2 CK preparation is the UWorld. And after that, I can recommend other resources like online made videos. I think it was Dr. Dustin Williams. He explained everything very good through algorithms. So you can watch these videos for Step 2 CK preparation. Also, the board and event videos. It is very informative videos and also directed to the goal, and it can save your time. Also, if you did board and beyond videos for step 2 CK, it is important even for step 3 preparation. So doing these videos will help you even in step 3 preparation. Tizanki cards, it is about during my time it was about 7,000 card, so I didn't prefer cheesy Dorian because there's something called cheesy Dorian cards because it was containing the NBME materials, NBME questions. I don't like to expose myself to the NBME questions before doing the NBME because you will get false results. And like if you know the NBME questions before doing the NBME, for sure your score in the real deal will be very low because you did a big mistake here, as when you expose yourself for the questions before doing the NBME, you will know already the concept. So when you go for the NBME, you will get very high score, but you deceive yourself, and in the real deal you will get low score. So my idea, don't look at any NBME questions before doing the NBME. And if anyone in any other group you have will post NBME question, you have to warn the people that this question present in NBMEs, and don't look at it unless you already did this NBME. The CMS forms, I did form number 5 and number 6 from each subject. It helps me a lot. The UWorld is step 3. I did the SX part of UWorld is step 3 because the problem in my exam, it was in the hospital management questions. Most of them wasn't present in UWorld at my time, so I didn't know how to answer these questions. But now I think they added a lot of UWorld hospital management questions in the UWorld, so I think this problem solved. But during my time, my UWorld wasn't have any hospital management questions, and in my exam it appears a lot. Also, Emma Holiday videos. I did these videos for revision before the exam by 1 or 2 weeks. Very good videos and very informative. I didn't do, or I didn't like doing Devin podcast. I felt like it is not that organized, but some people can like it. It is like, can enter an argument about this, but it depends, like you can like something others don't like, so that is totally normal. I felt like it is not organized, and before he finish the point he go to another point. Some people recommend it, so as I told you, like it depends. Also, I didn't use books beside UWorld. Some people try first aid, some people do master's board, some people do step up to medicine. It's up to them. But for me, I didn't use any book. I only used UWorld, and I did some UWorld notes. That is what I do. Also, you have to do the tables of your world in a flashcards, and this will help you a lot before the exam. You can because you need to revise them more than one time before the exam. So try to catch the whole tables present in your world and do it in a flashcards in your world account, and revise it more than one time before the exam. Also ask about the predictivity of the new NBMEs. During my time, I did NBME number 6, number 7, number 8, but now there is new NBMEs, so you have to ask how predictive it is. Don't ask me this question because I don't know NBME number 9, number 10, number 11. I didn't try them, but try to ask people that did the exam recently. They will give you, or they will tell you if it is predictive or not. I think I got to 146 in my UWorld self-assessment 1 and 200 58 in self-assessment 2, but my real deal was in between them, so it was 240 47. So now that is my talk about the step 2 CK preparation, and now I'll talk about the OT exam preparation. So first thing you have to know is after canceling the CS exam, OT exam become required to get the SFMG certificate. So it is for parts. First one listening, second one reading, third one writing, after that speaking. At my time, it is said that I should get B in which part, which is equal is 350 to pass it. But now I think the writing change and become, if you get 300 in writing, you will pass the test. To be honest also with you, I failed the OET exam in the first time, and I got in listening 330, but after that, when I repeated it after 3 weeks, I passed it. So don't be ashamed if you fail the exam or something, because that is totally normal. English not our first language, but with time you will improve. So my total preparation time for my OET exam, it was 3 weeks before the first time and 2 weeks before the second time. So totally it was 5 weeks. I did the first time, then I filled it, then I did it one more time, so I passed it after that. So the mistake I did in my first time is I was working already during my first time. I have, as you know, I have a job in Egypt, so I was working beside studying, so I didn't give the exam some time to study it. While in second time I was free. I stopped my work. I just studied for 2 weeks and I passed it. So I'll start explaining now the four parts of the OET. First one is listening, second one reading, third one writing, fourth one speaking. So for the listening, I used Jahshan collection. Also, I did the benchmark in listening. I did also A2 videos that present on YouTube. Also, there is a PDF called Common Listening Words. So it is about like about 200-300 words that present a lot in listening. So when you see these words, you will familiarize yourself with this kind of words, and you can guess the word well in the exam. Also, there is ABC podcast for listening and OT listening test on YouTube. So all of these things I did for listening. So the listening need good strategy to pass it. You should be multitasking, and that is the thing that make me or made me failed first time. So listening, you have to listen and you have to write and you have to understand. So three things you have to do at the same moment at the same time. So if you are not multitasking, you can fail. My problem was, if I listen to you, I can't write. If I write, I can't listen. If I understand, I can't write. So I was suffering with these things, but with time I improved and I could pass this test. uh, so you have, I mean, like, you have to train yourself to be multitasking to pass the listening. So we have three parts in the listening. First one is listening part one, which is 24 questions. It depends on the prediction, like try to predict the word. Like if you talk about occupation, so you have to write in this point a job. And if you talk about a disease, so you have to write a disease. If you talk about a drug, you have to write a drug. So try, I mean, like, try to see the common listening words, and according to the situation, according to what you listen, you have to write what you listen exactly. So try to before saying the word, to imagine, like, he may see, I have hypertension, I have diabetes, I have this, I have that. Imagination very important for listening. When you imagine, when you when you guess the word good, you can answer it easily. Also, I think spelling not that important for listening. People say that too. In part two of the listening, it is 6 questions. So try to use synonyms. You should have good vocabulary to pass it, and you will improve with practice. So the problem is in part B, they say something and you have to know what they are saying and write another thing. Like synonyms, very important in part B, and it is only 6 questions. So they ask you also multiple choice, like give you a question and you are listening. So you have to know what they are saying to understand what they are saying. After that, you have to answer at a specific time because it has very short time. Listening part C, it is very tough. To be honest, I passed this part by luck because it was very tough for me. And to pass the exam of listening, you have to get 350, or you have to do 30 questions right from the 42 questions, because we have 24 for A and 6 questions for B and 12 questions for C. So totally it is 42, and you have to get 30 questions from the 42 right. Second part is the reading. So in reading, I use the Jahshan collection. Also, I use the benchmark tests and reading words PDF in OOT. Also, I use the E2 videos on YouTube. So that is for the reading part. And the exam depend on time management and a good strategy. So for reading, you have to get a good strategy to pass this test. So part A in reading, they give you for text. You have to do scan reading in about 3 minutes, then do the 20 questions in about 12 minutes, because they give you 15 minutes only for part A, and you have to answer 20 questions. So if you don't know the answer of 1 or 2 questions, just leave them. Don't waste your time, and only give the question 45 seconds. If more than 45 seconds, say goodbye, I'll return to you back. But don't waste your time and don't stop at one question. If you don't know the question, okay, go for the next, and after that, at the end, you can return to it, because mostly you will find the answer after that. And part B in reading, it is about 6 questions. So you can read the text and solve the questions in about 2 minutes. My idea, read the question first, then return to the text, then read the question again with the choices and answers. Like they can ask you direct questions. So read the question and then see the choices and return again to the text, because it will take from you a lot of time to read the text and do the questions and then read the choices. And after that, you may miss something in the text and return back to it. So it depends. Like try to see which method will be better for you and do it. Part C is about 2 extracts. So every extract about 8 questions. So totally part C, it is about 16 or 16 questions. Yeah. So you have to number the paragraphs first, and the questions run by arrangement, and do the question in like every question in about 2 minutes. So don't make the question take from you more than 2 minutes, because the time is very limited. To pass the reading, you should get 350 in grade B, or do 30 from 42 questions right. For the writing, I did PDF called Writing Very Important. In this PDF, they explained a lot of grammar topics, and also they explained how to choose the case notes. This book about 125 pages, so I recommend using this book. Also, I corrected my letters in Egyptian doctor called Ahmed Adel. He's very good. I recommend him also. Also, while the second time I did my corrections in benchmark. In benchmark, I don't know why they was making me fail the test. I don't know why. Although in my first time I was passing already writing, so I tried benchmark and I failed about 4 exams from 8 exams. So they give me 8 letters and they corrected them to me. I failed in 4 and I passed another 4. I don't know why they make me fail. Although in the first time of my OT, I already passing the test, so I shouldn't fail. But that what happened exactly. I paid about $40 for the 8-letter correction at Benchmark. But whatever, not a big deal. Just I'm telling like Benchmark, not that recommended for me, but for others may recommended. I don't know. I did E2 videos in writing too. After the USMLE cases and your world questions, your writing will be okay. So writing very easy if you already finished the USMLE exam preparation. One important point I want to talk about is the grammar. So the grammar in writing not that important. About 18% only of the exam it is grammar, but people forget to study how to choose the case notes. People forget to study the organization and also the layout. Writing not only grammar. Writing it is a lot of things you have to know. So that is why people or some people fail in writing because they focus only on grammar and they choose wrong case notes and also they don't go do good layout in the test. So the other parts of the test is very important. So try to focus well on how to choose the case notes during writing because that is one of the main reasons for failing the test. So now the bus become so easy because it is 300 only. Before, at my time, it was 350. For speaking, I did speaking cards with my friends on Skype. Other people using the Discord. It depends. Like you can choose whatever you want. The main thing in speaking is following the rules. Like you have to show sympathy with patient. You have to understand his concern. You have to smile. You have to speak fluently. You have to use some synonyms because when you use synonyms, it means that you have very good vocabulary and repeat after the patient. Like if the patient say to you, I have vomiting, I have diarrhea, so you can repeat after him and say like, oh, okay, so you have vomiting and you have diarrhea. So that is very important. When you repeat after the patient, that means like you are understanding what he's saying, you are confirming that or being sure that you are understanding him very well and you got his point. So it shows you want to be sure from every word or from every word the patient says. So I did E2 videos, especially there is a lecture called pronunciation at Arabs in E2 videos because I'm Arabian, because there is some words we don't speak it right and our pronunciation may be very different than, or a bit different from the Native Americans. So I try to do this videos. Also, there is a speaking tips PDF present about 6 pages. I did it, very important, and I recommend this PDF. It tells you how exactly you should do the speaking. And there is, I think, there is a speaking cards. You can do some training. So the exam is 2 tasks. They give you first 3 minutes to read the task. After that, the session it is 5 minutes with during for the conversation, and the passing score is 350. So that is for the OET exam. After that, I want to talk about how to improve your English in general, because as I said, most of us coming from different countries and we have already native language. Like for me, I am speaking Arabic, from others speak Urdu, speak Indian, speak other language. So coming to US with your native language, you have to improve yourself in English. So from the first day you decide to start studying for the USMLE, you have to choose study partners who is which is they are like residing in the US. So when you speak with Native Americans, people already born here and raised here, so your English will improve a lot and in very small time. Unlike if you are studying with people from your community, from your country, I think it will take from you a lot of time until you improve your English. Second thing, traveling for or to foreign country will help you to improve your English and help you to improve your communication skills. So don't close or don't be close to your comfort zone. Start to open yourself for other cultures, other communities, and coming to US to do research also, this will help you a lot to improve your English and your communication skills, and this will help you also during the match interviews to present yourself better. So it is very important to have good English to do good in the match interviews. So from the first day you decide to go to the US, you have to improve and you have to work on your English. And the best way, as I said, choose study partners from here so you can talk to them. You can improve yourself with time. So now I talked about the step one preparation, step two preparation, and the OOT exam preparation. So you already have step one score or step one pass fail. You have step two score, and you have your OOT score. So you are going now, or we are going now to get the SFMG certificate. So to get the SFMG certificate, you have to get the scores as I told before, and add to them the letter of good standing from the syndicate from your home country. So that if you will apply for busway one as I did. So step one, step two, OET, and letter of good standing. If you have those, go directly and apply and get your ECFG certificate. In my time, I paid about 925 to get the certificate. Also, your mental health is so important. Don't forget about that. So the exams are so tough. So try to go to the gym, do sports, enjoy your hobbies, whatever. Because if you close yourself only for studying, I think you easily can get depression, and that is not good at all. So after getting the SMU certificate, you can do step three exam. So the first point I want to say is you can't do step three exam without the SFMG certificate. So after getting the certificate, you can apply for step three exam. But I can say here, step three not required for the match. Only do it if your year of graduation more than 3 years, or if you have previous attempt in step one or step two exam, or if your CK score less than 220. Like if you have weak point in your CV, okay, you can go and do step three before applying for the match. But if your application is very good, okay, do it during the match season or after that. Not a big deal. So, as I said, you need your SFV certificate to apply for step three. And how to apply or how to study for step three, it is only UWorld and the CSS cases. So the UWorld for step three, it is about like 1,700 or 800 questions. So you can do these questions. Besides that, you can study the CCS cases. So CCS cases, it is a site you can do a account in it, and I think you can pay it by about 70 $70 for 1 month or $90 for 3 months, and do these cases. After that, you can go for the exam. The score of step three not that important, but as I said, if you have weak point in step two CK or in step one, or if you have a template or something, so you have to get good score in step three to say to the program director, I am a good exam taker, but I have a problem happened in me with CK, but I am now doing well in step three. So the exam of step three, it is 2 days. And step three only done in the United States. You can't do step three in your home country. Also, step three will help you to match on H1B visa if you are requiring visa. Uh, Also, but only if the program will sponsor you the H1B. But if the program want to sponsor you H1, or don't have the ability to sponsor H1B visa, so you will match on G1. So the importance of H1B visa is it is very good. I mean, like can help you easy to get the green card after that. While if you match on G1, you have to or you applied for a waiver, so you will do the residency on G1. After that, about 2 or 3 years waiver. After that, you can apply for green card. So the idea from H1B, it will save your time to get the green card more faster. So that is also advantage of doing step three before March of like before the announcement of the match result, because some programs ask the results in December to sponsor you H1B visa, and other programs need the results in the middle of March. Okay, so that is in conclusion about step three. So now I'll talk about the research position in the US. And it is very important point. A lot of people like don't talk a lot about this point, but I'll try to explain it to you. So first thing, why we are going to US to do research, like what is the importance of research for the match. And here I'm talking about the internal medicine residency. I don't talk about surgery because it is another story, and I don't have a lot of experience in surgery, but my experience was in internal medicine. So most of my talk about the internal medicine residency. So we are doing research here, first thing to get connections with professors in the US, also to get good letter of recommendations from them, also to enter the US system, like or to be here during the match season on G1 visa. But B1 visa, I think it is not easy to get. Also, like the rejection higher in B1 visa than G1 visa. So being in US also during the match season very important. So doing research will help you to stay in the US during the match. Also, being in the US during the match season increase your chances to get match. Because if I am a program director, so should I take someone already residing in US, or I take someone present in Egypt? For me, no, I prefer to get someone from US, so I don't have to wait for someone else to come from another country. Maybe he will get rejection in the visa. So being in US will increase your chances to get match. Also, getting publications help you to match in university programs, because these programs have a good research. So if you have research experience, this will help you to match in stronger programs. Also, doing clinical rotations in the biggest institute, like here, I'm here at Mayo Clinic. So if you did clinical rotations in Mayo, it will help you a lot. If you get letter of recommendation from Mayo, like one of the best hospitals in the US, so it will help you a lot during the match season. Also, using Mayo email to contact the programs, like institutional email, help you a lot to get a lot of interviews during the match season. So like for all of these reasons, we are going to US to do research before the match. One important question here: can I match without research? I can say yes, you can match without research, especially in internal medicine, because in internal medicine they need the observership more than the research. So if you did US clinical experience and if you have good scores, you don't need research. But if your year of graduation a bit far, or if you don't do US clinical experience, or if you have like weak scores, so I think you should do research in the US for at least 1 year to enhance your chances to match. So I can say the US technical experience much more important than the research for the internal medicine. Some of my friends matched without even a US technical experience, but it is very rare cases, and most of them matched in maybe like community programs, like not big prestigious programs. Yeah, everything is good, but I can say like, that is from the things I see during this way. So when should I travel to do research? Like if I am now a fresh grad or I am now old grad. There's two types of people now. Some people like already finished their medical school, and others already done from medical school by about 5 years or something. So my opinion, if you are recent graduate, travel after doing step one at least. So do step one in your home country, then travel, because doing research besides studying will be like very tough. While do one step in your home country, then travel. I mean, like if you are recent grad, fresh grad, okay, you can wait for 1 or 2 years, finish your exams in your home country, then travel to US to do research. While if you are old graduate, I mean you finish your medical school from more than 5 years, travel as early as possible, because you need to build very strong good connections before doing the research, or before applying to the metro, I mean. So how can I get research position in the US? First thing, through emails to the professors in all faculties. Like you can send the emails to Mayo Clinic, to Cleveland, to John Hopkins, Harvard, MD Anderson, and other faculties. I think Mayo emails present on the web page, so you can go to Google and find the emails easily. Some people I think take money to provide you research position. I don't recommend that at all, so don't go for it. What should I write in the email? First thing, you have to introduce yourself. You have to show interest in the specialty. You have to mention one paper that you are interested in. Like, I can talk to a professor here at Mayo and say like, okay, and I like this paper. It is very good, and you did good job, whatever. And also you can say like, or you can show that you can fund yourself during the first year of research. Yeah, you should ask for payment after that, but I mean like in the beginning, yeah, it is normal to until you get some experience. After that you get payment, but you can say to him like, I can fund myself during the first year, and that is normal because most of people working here can fund their service in the first year. After that they can get payment from the institution. So having publications in your CV will help you a lot to get a research position. So you should do one at least. And it is okay to be unpaid for 1 year, but after that, the professor should pay you. Make it clear during the interview. You have to ask for payment after that. How to find a paid research position? Some people ask me like, how can I be paid, or how can I find from the start paid research position? So it depends on two factors. First thing, if the BI have grants or not, and if you are hard worker or not. So both should be present to get the payment. Some BIs have grants, so they can pay you, and you should be hard worker to get the payment so fast. But if the BI have a grant already and have money, and he don't give you money or something, so my advice, avoid working with them and go for another BI. So it depends, like try to find a good supportive BI to work with during research, because your time is precious. Ask about the BI before traveling to him. You have to see, like to ask the fellows present with him how he deal with you, and if he supported you during the match season or not, if he pay you or not. A lot of things you have to ask before going or before traveling to US. So it is very important point. So don't come blindly and work with people you don't know. No, try to ask about them before traveling, and don't be desperate. Like if you find a toxic BI or something, so try to change it as soon as possible. If no payment after 1 year also, or no match support, try to change as soon as possible. That is totally your right. Yeah, accept 1 year, it's okay. Accept something, but I mean, you spend your time, you spend your money for about 1 year with working here in research, so at least you should get good letter of recommendation. You should or your BI should support you in the match. And the golden rule here, you have to work for the payment as you will never match, and you have to work for the match as you will never get payment. That is to be clear with you. From where I get money during research? Some people asked me this question. So for me, I got my money from Egypt because I worked already 4 years in Egypt. So it is illegal to work in the US while you are on G1 visa. I'm making everything clear to you. Which thing should I learn to get payment very fast? So if basic science, try to learn PCR, to learn ELISA, immunohistochemistry, tissue analysis, animal handling. All of these things will help you to get payment very fast if you are working in basic science research. And if you're working in clinical research, you can learn the red cap and the epic data extraction, and how to take consent from patients. And the best thing for the match is to have patient contact in your research. So if you have patient contact in your research, easily you can get matched, because most of the program directors prefer that in the applicants. But the meta-analysis and the systematic reviews won't help a lot to get the payment, unfortunately. So what things you need from your BI? So every time or every morning, you have to ask yourself, so I am here in the US, what should I ask for? So first thing you have to you are doing research here for the match. So get publications as early as possible, even if short case report. Like if you come here in April and you will apply in September for the match, so it is only 5 6 months. You have to do something, like because most of the research here, especially the basic science research, take years until they do one paper. So yeah, you can go for to your BI and tell him like, okay, I'll work in your long term publications, but for me I need short term publication. I need even to write with you a case report or something. So when you apply for the match, you have something on your ERAS CV. So my idea, try to do short-term publication with your BI beside his long-term publications, because you have to write something in your ERAS. Because in the interviews, they will ask you, you are here at Mayo Clinic for about 1 year and you didn't have even one publications. I think not good thing to or not good situation for you. So my idea, try to ask your BI about one publication at least before the match season. Second thing is doing clinical rotations with your BI and be close to him to get good letter of recommendation. So you can go and ask him like, if you are working in Parkinson disease, so you can tell him like, excuse me, my BI, so can I ask you to do clinical rotation with you and I shadow the patient with you, because shadowing the patients will help me a lot to understand more about the disease I'm working on research. So what's your opinion? Most of the BIs accept that. They don't say anything. I mean, like, don't go direct to say I want to do clinical rotation with you. No, but just try to explain more why you want to do clinical rotation. First thing, when you are more close to him, you can get very good letter of recommendation. Second thing, also shadowing patients in the disease that you are working or you are doing research in will help you a lot to understand the research more, and this will help you also for the match. Like in the match interviews, you can say, yeah, I am shadowing patient here at Mayo, I am seeing that and doing that. So this will help you a lot during the interviews. Also choose or try to choose BI which is MD, not PhD, because most of BIs at PhD don't have a lot of connections to help you during the match season. While if the BI is MD, he will help you a lot during the match because he knows a lot of program directors and he can like ask them to give you interview or something like that. Also, the BI, when if the BI MED, he can provide you by a clinical rotation. While if the BI PhD only, so he don't have a clinic, so you can't do with him clinical rotation. While if you went to a BI and the BI is PhD, you can ask him like, can you ask your friends or something so I can get clinical rotation beside my research work with you? That is very important question to ask your BI about, because if you are applying for internal medicine, as I said, the clinical rotation much more important than doing research. So if you have like if you have a short time and you wanted to do one thing for the match, my advice: do clinical rotation. Research not that important than clinical rotation. Number four here is clinical research better than basic science research for the match purposes, especially if you have patient contact. But basic science research has advantage here, which is you can get payment more faster than clinical research, because people in basic science have a lot of grants. After 6 months of unpaid research, you can go to your BI and speak with him and asking him for payment. If he said no payment after 1 year, start actively to search for another position. But if he will pay you, it's okay. You can continue with him until you get the payment, because it is very hard to live in US without payment. Also gain a good experience from the previous position to find another paid research position. So if you are here working in lab or something, so you have to learn ELISA, learn Western blot, learn what any new procedure you are doing, MRI, whatever you are doing in animals. So learning this will help you a lot to get a good position after that. Also, you need your BI to advocate about you during the rank order list, and to get interviews and to make some calls for you. Some people do that, maybe illegal or something, I don't know, but people do that. So very important to get your BI involved in this, like help you to get some interviews from programs he knows. Because if you are good, he don't do something illegal, like you are good with him, you are doing your work, you are very good person. So why he not recommend you? Okay, he can recommend you at this point. But if your BI don't support you in this, okay, you can search for another position if you didn't get match this season. So after getting residency, keep good connections with your BI, especially if you are in a good place, like here I'm here at Mayo, or so you can get remote access, or you can get collaboration access. So doing research during residency will help you a lot to catch good fellowship after that in the future. So keeping good connections with your BI is very important thing you have to do. Also, before you apply for the match, you can ask your BI to revise your CV and your personal statement. So it is very important, because those people have pretty experience in revising the CVs, the personal statements. So you can ask your BI to do that for you. That is important thing you can do. Also, the best time to get a research position is March, because people are leaving for residency. So you can catch the position during this month. Very easy to catch a position in March, but after March it will be hard, and also before March maybe also it will be hard. Most of people who match, they will leave their position, so you can catch the position during this month. And one important thing I want to tell is, don't ask someone popular on social media to give you research position, because already those people have a lot of requests. So try to find someone no one know him. So when you send him a message or something, so he will take care of this message, because he already don't see these messages before. While if you go to someone has already 100 requests from other people, so for sure he can't help you, and he can't help others also, because everyone here can help only one or two to get research, but a lot of people, and especially if someone he don't know, it will be very hard. So ask someone unknown for this purpose, because this one, like if you find someone on Facebook have already, like 10 20 friends or something, so this one can help you in this. But if you have someone like have 1,000 of followers or something, so these people already busy and they can't help also people. Also, just that is a note, because also during the match season, you need to connect with resident, and these things also, if you find a resident that no one reached to him, very important, very good, like they can help you a lot. But if you find a resident that already have a lot of friends, so very hard to recommend you, especially if he don't know you. uh, During the year of research, you have to write everything you do in your ERAS CV, and also you can ask your BI to revise the research point for you, because your BI understand well what he is doing, and he can do a very good job in this. One more thing also is ask your PI for urgent publication if you are close to the match season. As I said, if you come in April, try to ask your BI for publication before applying for the match. Doing research in an institute like takes IMGs is better than doing it in a big institute that you can't get even interview from them. Like here I'm doing at Mayo. Yeah, Mayo is a great place and very good, but I mean, like, Mayo want to consider me for residency, but other places, if I find IMG friendly university or something, my idea, my opinion, go for this university. So I know it is a small university, but I mean, you can match there very easily. While in big institutions like Mayo, Cleveland, John Hopkins, whatever the institution, it will be hard to get residency there. So they won't even give you interview. While if you did the research in a small institute, easily you can get residency in this institution. The next point I'll talk about is the electives and observerships. So one of the fundamental requirements for the match, most of the programs recommend at least 3 or 6 months of US clinical experience. So I'm not comparing you with AMGs or with Caribbeans, because Caribbeans do at least 72 weeks clinical rotations. So you are not competing with them. They are far more better than you, because they do a lot of rotations in the US. Uh, so you need a B1 visa to travel to do the electives. So the next question is, how can I get elective opportunity? So first thing, through emails showing interest, and also through connections. Um, One important point I can say here is you can do account on Residency Explorer, try to know the programs that present in US, and take the name of the program. Let's say I take the name of Albany Medical Center. Okay, Albany Medical Center present in US. So I take the name and go on Google and find the faculty members and go to each one and asking them like, okay, hello doctor, how are you? My name is, and I graduated from this university. I want to do rotation with you in this institution or this university. If he accept you, it will very good, and you can match in this program. You can choose any program in US, but try to choose programs that take IMGs. Very important to do the rotation in IMG friendly program, because if you do the rotation in IMG friendly program, easily you can get the residency there. While if you do rotation at Mayo Clinic, Mayo Clinic won't think about you, because they don't take a lot of IMGs like other programs, whatever. So my idea also, try to do the rotation with someone maybe different in ethnicity than you. Like if you are in India and you are Indian, if you did the full rotation with Indians, mostly the letter of recommendation will be biased. So try to do one with someone from America, someone from Arab, someone Indian, someone Pakistani, whatever. So try to make diversity in your letter of recommendations and in your um, rotations. And that means like you are very good man, because if I am Arabian and I got letter from Canadian or from American, so that means like I'm very good, because someone don't know me and give me a letter. While if I am Arabian and get the 4 letters from Egypt, so that means like I'm not good, because mostly the Egyptians write good things to me because I am Egyptian. That is the idea. So try to make diversity in your letter of recommendation. Also, some students pay some money to get rotations. I don't recommend that, because if the thing you can do it for free, why you are paying money for it? Always, the persons that take money from people, also the program director know the names of the people that like which one write letter of recommendations because of the money and these things. So I think it doesn't carry a big weight, because like maybe about 20 30 doctors in US, they do the rotations for money on these things. So if you are taking one of those letters, mostly as I am a program director, I know, yeah, this doctor present in Chicago and this doctor do this and do this and take money because he write a letter of recommendation. So easily I can say, okay, so he write to him good letter of recommendation because he take from him money, so I'm not to accept that. So my idea, try to go to a big professor, big name, and also you can do the rotation without paying any money. One more thing about the tele-rotation. Now I'm talking about the tele-rotation. So when should I do tele-rotation? Only do tele-rotation if you don't have the opportunity to come to US. But if you are residing in the US, for sure, do the rotation here in the US. Don't do any rotation because it doesn't carry any weight during the match season. Because after COVID now, all the places opened for rotations, so you don't have to do tele rotations. Only do tele rotation if you have visa problem, like if you got rejection from the visa or something. Okay, at this point you can do tele rotations, but without like if you can travel to US, so don't do tele rotations. So you have to write also everything you see during the clinical rotation. You have to know what is the electronic system the doctor used, like Epic or whatever the name. So try to write everything during the clinical rotation and try to document everything, because everything you do in the clinical rotation you have to write on the RAS CV. Like if you did ECG, you have to say like, yeah, I did ECG. If you took history, take history. If I did the clinical exam, okay, I did the clinical exam. If you discuss with the doctor case of heart failure, case of atrial fibrillation, case of angina, case of esophageal varices, whatever the case, you have to write everything you did during the clinical rotation, and because you will need it after that in the to write it in the RAS CV. So don't postpone this thing, because if you did now the clinical rotation and you will apply after 6 months or something, so after 6 months you will forget what you did in the clinical rotation. So every day during the clinical rotation, have a note and write what you are doing. And during writing the RAS CV, so you will just take this note and take copy paste from it. When should I ask for the letter of recommendation? Okay, so directly after finishing the clinical rotation, you should ask for the letter of recommendation, because when you do a gap or something and return it back to this doctor and asking them, oh doctor, can you do you remember me? I did with you rotation from 6 months. You say, oh, I don't remember you, who are you? So that is the thing. So after finishing the clinical rotation, ask directly for the letter of recommendation, because he will remember you, he can write good things for you, he remember even the stories that happened between you and him. But if you take a lot of time to and ask him like, okay doctor, do you remember me? I did with you rotation from 3 years. No, I don't remember you, I don't know you. So at this point he will write to you like generalized letter of recommendation, and that is not advisable at all. So what is the best time to do the clinical rotation? In my opinion, you should do the clinical rotation before applying for the match by about 3 4 months. So at this time you can do the clinical rotation and you can get the letter of recommendation, and the letter of recommendation will be recent letter of recommendation, and it will be or it carry a big weight, because if I get letter of recommendation now in September 2023, so after 4 months, if I get letter of recommendation and I'm applying for the next match, it will be perfect. While if I get letter of recommendation from about 4 5 years and applying for the next match, for sure the program director will say, oh, so he was good from 5 years, but now what is his status? Like he has a mental problem or not? He has depression or not? He has what? So the letter of recommendation, when it become recent, very very important than the old letter of recommendations. So that is why I'm saying try to do the clinical rotation before applying for the match by about 4 5 months or 6 months. So what is the meaning of strong letter of recommendation? When I say like I got strong letter of recommendation, what does it mean? So first thing, the name of the professor. If the professor has big name or present in big institution, so that carry a big weight. Also the content of the letter, like if the letter is personalized letter than generalized. What is the meaning of personalized? Yeah, he telling stories about you. Like he can say like Ahmed was with me he did ECG, he find a patient, the patient was noxious, he did ECG to him, the ECG become normal, and Ahmed come to the patient and say to him like reassure the patient, he did this, he did that. So the letter, when the letter become personalized, telling story about you, it will be perfect. While if the letter like generalized letter, like he can say like Ahmed come in the morning and leave at night. So it is generalized letter, it doesn't carry any weight. While if the letter is personalized letter, it will be perfect. Also, if the letter is long letter of recommendation, like the letter of recommendation about 2 pages or something, like he tells stories about you, he took a lot about you, it will be very good letter of recommendation. Also, the letter of recommendation should contain 2 things. First thing, he should say, as I am a program director or as I am a big professor, I can say Ahmed, one of the best people I met in my life or something. If he said this in the beginning of the letter, it will be perfect. Also, if he said at the end of the letter, like I can find Ahmed a very good doctor in internal medicine in the future. So also it is a very good word he can write at the end of the letter. I mean like the letter that carry a big weight, he should talk a lot about you, he should good or he should talk in a positive way about you. Also, if the writer of the letter in a training program, if I get a letter of recommendation from a program director or associate program director, it will be very good letter, because as I am a program director, I can say like, oh, so this program director write good things about this applicant, that means he is very good, because the program directors already knows people, already know how to say good things to people, already know how to judge people. Unlike if you get letter from someone not a medical, like someone a PhD or something, so it doesn't carry a big weight, because those people not in contact with not in contact with the residency programs. Also, if you did the rotation in inpatient setting rather than private clinic, it carry a lot of weight. Like doing the rotation in hospital better than doing it in a private clinic, because in hospital you can see a lot of patients, you can see a lot of varieties of diseases, you can go to the ICU, you can go for a lot of things to do. While in private clinic, the procedures is very limited. Always try to do clinical rotation in IMG friendly program. So when you do rotation in IMG friendly program, it is easy to get residency in this program than if you did the rotation in big institution and they don't even give you an interview. So I can say like IMG friendly programs, like programs present in New York, program present in the East Coast, like New Jersey, Pennsylvania, all of these cities or these states, very IMG friendly. Like I can say California, not that IMG friendly or something. So I mean like try to do the rotation in a place that accept the IMGs. In general, don't rush to do a clinical rotation. Try to choose a big professor. Try to choose a professor that write very good letters. So try to ask about him before going to do rotation with him. Like try to ask people that did already rotation with him, did they match or not? If they match, that means he is writing to people very good letters. While some professors don't write a very good letters, write generalized letters. So that is not advisable at all. Also, don't force the professor to write to you a letter of recommendation, because if he doesn't like to write to letter to you, just leave him. Don't force him to write to you a letter, because if you forced him, mostly he will write to you not a good letter, so or bad letter. So I don't recommend that. Just ask him, doctor, I need a letter of recommendation. If he write to you letter of recommendation, it's okay. If you don't want to write, say thank you and move. Also, try to go early and leave late. Try to ask questions during the rotation. Try to speak English fluently with the professor and deal with the patient by a nice way. That is the whole things you have to do during the clinical rotation. And as I said, document everything during the rotation. You will forget and you will need these things during writing your ERAS CV. So during the rotation, write everything and document everything. Last thing I'll talk about here today is the visa interview. So to do research in the US and to do clinical rotation in US, you have to apply for the visa if you are visa requiring like us. So G1 visa, you need DS-19 and the proof of funding if you are going for unpaid research. So if you are going for unpaid research, you have to show the embassy like you have to like you will fund yourself and you have to have a bank account by the number of the money that the research institution asks you for. While if you are going to do a clinical rotation, so you are on B1 visa, so you just need a letter of invitation from the professor you will do the rotation with. Also, doing rotation in a big institution will increase your chances of being accepted in the visa. Like if Mayo Clinic accepts you to do clinical rotation there, so getting the visa will be easier than doing the rotation in a small institution. So I'm telling you now the benefit and the risk. Like doing hair rotation is good, but not good to catch residency because it is very hard to catch residency here, but good to catch the visa. If you are traveling for to do course or something in Harvard, so this type of visa only for students, F1 visa. During the visa interview, don't talk a lot. Just answer the question. Like if you ask you question, answer according to the question. Don't talk a lot during the visa interview. Also, try to answer every question with honesty because they will discover if you are not honest with them. Also, having a strong ties in your home country will increase your chances to get the visa. Like if you have a wife in your home country, if you have a family, if you have some buildings or land or something, having money in your home country will increase your chances to get the visa. I got the G1 visa after 2 months of administrative process, so that is normal. So don't worry about that. Some people go for admin process, and there is one thing good in B1 visa, which is you can be more free. You can move easily in the US, while in G1 visa you have to take your BI permission before going to other states. So I mean, like B1 visa have more rejection. That is a bad thing in B1, but B1 visa better in you can move easily in the US without taking the permission from others. As I said before, traveling to a big institution like Mayo Clinic will increase your chances to of visa acceptance. I can find that most of people that come to Mayo don't get visa rejection, while people that go to other institution maybe the chances of rejection may be higher. So the visa will cost you about 160 for the application, and this money not refundable, and 220 for the CVs if you are applying for G1 visa, and also this one not refundable. So if you got rejection from the visa, you can't get this money back. So I can say now I finished my presentation for today, but the next day I'll talk about the ERAS CV and the ERAS application. Also, I'll talk in detail how to write a personal statement and how to reach for the programs, how to do the Excel sheet to apply for the match, or how to contact the program directors, the program coordinators, the faculty staff, and the resident in the programs. And I'll explain more about the interview preparation, how to prepare yourself for the interviews. And lastly, I'll talk about the rank order list. This is why I divided the session into two parts. I finished the first part, which is the exams and the match, the observer and the electives and the research. And next time, it will be like maybe in I'd see the time now. So it will be on this
It's on the
next on
12th
the
of
other part.
May, so next Friday.
It will be next Friday, yeah.
Mhm.
So Friday 10, right? It will be 10 or
12th.
it will be 12. So
6
Friday
p.m.
12. Yeah, so it will be Friday 12. I'll talk about the other topics for the match. So everyone like is welcome to ask any questions they have.